so high and so strong, but the truth's gonna break through before too long. Every single day, the same damn old game, pointing all the fingers, nobody takes the blame. This pressure's building, it's starting to crack. Ain't no turning back now, ain't no holding back. I'm about to say it, yeah, I'm about to scream. Tired of the fake smiles, living in a dream. The real life's bleeding out in the cold. Gotta break the mold, gotta let it unfold. I'm about to say it, every single word. The uncomfortable truth finally gonna be heard. I'm gonna say it.
Welcome to hashtag I'm gonna say it. Some things said in today's show are alleged and for entertainment and educational purposes only. If you are below the age of 18, we request that you leave alive now. Enjoy.
Welcome all. How's everyone doing? Hey, sis. Can we get you up in the box, sis? You mind coming in and co-hosting with me? You know, just sitting in the box for me. But, excuse me, y'all. I apologize. I still got the sinus issue going and stuff like that. Rita, thank you for joining us, bestie. How you doing? It's not okay. I don't know why it's wilding out. It's wilding out. Zeus had some issues on his too. Chrissy, good morning. Says not staying for long. Hold on, that went too fast. Thank you for the heart, me, Chrissy. Says morning, brother, not staying for long. Got appointment, but came to support for a little bit. All right, thank you, bestie. I appreciate it. And you know, you are always welcome here. And I pray that your appointment goes as you like it to. You know, I hope it's in your favor, for sure. Okay, there we go, sis. Thank you. We got you, sis. Appreciate that. All right, let's get down to business. So last night, Monday, Canada, they aired this campaign or this commercial, right? And they paid $75 million for it. But before I even go into that, let me say, when you hear me say that this man right here behind me is politically incompetent to hold his position, like he's not made for it. And when you hear me say that he's not a good businessman, it's not because I don't like his tactics. It's not because I don't like his rhetoric, his character, his lack of morality, I should say. You know, it's the truth. And see, the thing about facts is that it don't give a F about your feelings. Yeah, Shelby M said he is incompetent in almost every single way. Absolutely. And you know, along with Stormy Daniels, I think there's some more people who can verify that as well to be true, my friend. But I don't say it just for that reason. Here's the thing. Facts don't care about your feelings. Never have, never will, right? And so the thing about that is, it knocked you out, sis? Okay, I got you. I don't know. It may be the platform. Like I said, Zeus was having some issues on his. Yeah, I don't know either. We're gonna keep rolling. Hopefully they cool out today. So we like to bring facts, right? And so whenever we say that he is incompetent politically and like Shelby M said, otherwise just overall incompetent, it seems like his followers, his fan base, they seem to think that we are jealous or hurt or something of that nature, right? And so when it comes to this whole tariff things, it goes and proves the point that we make as far as him being a bad business, man. As if all of the bankruptcies that he has isn't proof enough. Because and it's ironic that his followers always like they want to see facts, but then when you give them facts, they don't want to accept the facts that you give them. So it's like it's wild, right? But in any event, I assume if maybe since Marie, good morning, good morning. She said, Jen, sis, I'm gonna get you, girl. So yes, yes, they're lactose intolerant. Like they cannot stomach it for nothing. Exactly, sis. And so I'm like, okay, the more that we sit here and we talk about it and we try to present it to them, and we know that they see it, but they refuse to accept it. Like my sister said, they're lactose intolerant. I'm like, okay, so let's try a different approach because every time we say something about it, it ends up turning into a back and forth or they always result into going to insults, of course. So I'm like, okay, let's try a different approach. And so that same commercial commercial that I told you that Canada paid $75 million for to air, they took a interview or a speech by if you ask me, one of the best Republican presidents in history, Ronald Reagan. Now I get it; he had his own thing too. That whatever. But I'm saying the thing about it was he had some kind of class to him. He had some kind of dignity to him. He has a thing that the complete Republican, I won't say complete, Trump Republican, we'll say party. The Trump Republican section of the Republican Party lacks nowadays, right? And so I'm like, okay, let's let him, and I thought this was just genius by Canada, but let's let one of their own explain to them how tariffs actually works and how it actually harms our country, because they're all about the country first, they say, but how it hurts our country more than the other ones, right? So let's listen to a few things. I got like maybe 3 things I want to listen, but let's start with this one first. I haven't. Okay.
When someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports, it looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time. But over the long run, such trade barriers hurt every American worker and consumer. High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars. Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs. Throughout the world, there's a growing realization that the way to prosperity for all nations is rejecting protectionist legislation and promoting fair and free competition. America's jobs and growth are at stake.
The Toronto Star writes, Ontario's anti-tariff ad has caught Donald Trump's attention. Trump said he saw the commercial, which aired during the Fox broadcast of the Toronto Blue Jays American League Championship Series victory over the Seattle Mariners on Monday night.
That, folks, is how tariffs works. All right. So now those Trump Republicans that we may or may not have in here, that's one of your own. That was from April. I think it's at April 27, 20-something, 1987. This guy right here explained to you exactly how tariffs works. And furthermore, validated that this guy is the worst president ever. Right? And that's how, and you heard him say, well, it caught his attention, this guy's attention behind me. And it does. It bruises his ego. He can't stand people talking about him, right? Well, if that hurt, wait till you hear what Doug Ford Honorable Doug Ford from Canada had to say about the cheddar-colored coat leader.
Elephant in the room, a powerful moment of that speech. Play the clip.
We're here today to talk about Ontario's economy. We can't do so without acknowledging the elephant in the room. President Trump continues to take direct aim at Canada. Well, he's going to really go after us now. I'm reading my speech. I just called him an elephant. But anyways, can't call that guy any name. Anyways, he's added and expanded tariffs on Canadian steel, autos, aluminum, lumber, and copper, just to name a few. He went off kilter and started to go after cabinet makers and so on and so forth. By every measure, he seems intent on putting tariffs on pharmaceuticals, semiconductors, heavy trucks, film industry, and critical minerals. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. A tariff on Canada is nothing more than a tax on Americans. And I tell that to my American friends. I talk to the governors, senators, and congressmen and women every single day. Ironically, even Republicans, they don't agree with that. They don't agree with President Trump's attack on his closest allies and friends. But unfortunately, they're too scared, to the exception of a few senators, too scared to say anything.
Imagine.
1 second, we have this commercial. And you hear, I mean, this is people, other countries are laughing at us, man.
University has put out the cost of tariffs at about $2,400 for every American household and expects the American economy to shed nearly 500,000 jobs by the end of 2025. We're already seeing the impact. American manufacturing employment has declined for 5 months in a row, with 78,000 fewer manufacturing jobs in the U.S. today than a year ago. And folks, I'm a big Ronald Reagan fan.
And here's another part of Ford's speech. Let's play that clip.
The Center for Automotive Research in the U.S. says that President Trump's tariffs on autos will raise the costs for American automakers by nearly $108 billion US in 2025. These kinds of enormous costs on businesses result in two outcomes: higher prices for American consumers and fewer jobs for American workers, and inflation on the backs of American workers. Personally, if it were me, these aren't the kind of numbers I'd want to bring into the midterms.
So people, tell me, Trump-publicans, tell me, does that sound like someone who is a good businessman? Enlighten me. Does that sound like someone who is putting the country first? Seems like it's putting us more in debt, right? Thank you for the heart, me sis. I appreciate it. You see, this is what happens when you fall for concepts. But we won't stop there. We won't stop there because that's two things that came from Canada, right? And so let's bring it within our own borders. Let's listen to an elected official speak about it that's from here within our own borders. Oh yeah, I did that wrong. My bad.
Of course, we're feeling the impacts here in the United States.
Shout out to Midas Touch too.
This is the governor of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Governor Shapiro, talking about by slapping Canada with these tariffs and hurting Canada, Pennsylvania suffering, he says. Here, play this clip.
What is not helpful is the bullying. What is not helpful is failing to remember our shared history and the way we are intertwined. What is not helpful is the way in which the president has demeaned our neighbors in the North, suggesting that they should be the 51st state. I respect Canadian sovereignty. And I hope that tomorrow, when this meeting occurs in the White House, respect will rule the day, that we will hammer out a trade agreement that works for both sides, and that Pennsylvania can continue to work with our partners in the north
Hey,
to
Rochelle,
grow
thank you
our
for the heart
economy,
me. How
to
you
protect
doing?
our farmers, to expand our manufacturing base. The final thing I'll say is this: slapping a tariff on Canada, even for Pennsylvania companies that are based in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
Thank you for
that
that heart me,
source their
Aztec
raw
Princess.
materials
Did you get my
in
message?
Pennsylvania, that don't rely on raw materials from
I'm
Canada.
doing good. Thank you, Rochelle.
The prices for those companies are going up. The capital needed to be able to expand is staying in the private sector's pocket, meaning they are not investing the kind of capital that is needed to grow and expand right now. And so by the president pushing the tariff button, he's not only alienating one of our most important global allies, he's driving up the cost for Pennsylvania farmers, driving up the cost for Pennsylvania small businesses, driving up the cost for Pennsylvania manufacturers, even those who are doing it in the president's mind the right way, note the air quotes here, by doing it
Facts.
based in America, sourced with American products, sourced with American raw material, with American workers. We're still seeing prices go way up because the president decided to push the tariff button and drive up costs on the American people. It is dangerous, the rhetoric he's engaged in, and his practices are making things cost more. And it is not in America's long-term interest, I believe, to have this fight with Canada. It will make things cost more and will undermine our unique relationship.
So Wookie,
There you have people. There you have it. There you have it. Aztec Princess says, yes, I'd love to help. Great, great. Okay, so after the show, I got you, right? I'm gonna make sure. Here, I might be able to do it now. Let's see. Let me see. Yeah, okay, I'll do it after the show. After the show, I got you. Thank you so much, too, and I appreciate that. I truly do. There you have it, people. He's not a smart businessman, and you don't have to just say, well, we're just saying it because we're upset, or which I don't even understand what we have anything to be upset about. Like I said before, and I'll say it again, we are actually watching you all from afar self-destruct from within. We're not upset because we already told you it was going to happen. We already knew this was going to happen. Little brother, welcome in, welcome in. I love you. That's my little brother. Go follow my little brother, Matthew Collins. We're just sitting back with our popcorn and our tea, just sipping, eating, and watching you all self-destruct from within. So we're not upset, but I just figured if you could hear from someone that was, to me, the face of your party, explain to you how tariff works and explain to you in a competent way, and that's a person from a person that is politically competent, explain to you how tariffs work, maybe you could get it better because it's one of your own, and you won't just automatically think or go straight to hate or go straight to, well, name calling and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, you're going to be affected by it. You may not be now at this particular moment or at this precise moment, but you're, as an American, you're going to be affected by it. Why? Because this guy is politically incompetent. Thank you for the Go Populars, Aztec Princess. Thank you. In addition, let me show you, before we go on to the next segment, let me also point this out to you. Our farmers are actually suffering from this whole tariff things that he's doing. Now, some of you don't know, but I've actually lived in Nebraska twice. So I do know how important agriculture is, right? And so by his tariffs hurting and oppressing the farmers out in the Midwest and stuff, people, and especially I lived in Omaha and South Omaha at that. So when you get an Omaha steak and stuff like that, it comes from the stockyards in South Omaha. That's where it comes from, right? So, and just hamburgers, all of that, it's affecting. So what it's affecting us, our farmers here in our country. So what does he say to that? Well, we'll just start to buy our beef from Argentina. And I know a lot of you are like, yeah, cool. He's got a plan. He's got a concept. We'll just get our beef from Argentina and it'll be cheaper and this, that, and the third. Woo, he's a good businessman. Hold on, slow down, Cletus. Because you got to know you got to know things here. Now, here's the problem with that. Do you know that Argentina has a severe contamination issue with their beef? So now, even if you did do that, you are going to put American citizens in harm's way because you are buying potentially contaminated meat. So how does that help us out? How is that country first? Again, people, I'll tell you in closing this segment out, this is by far the worst president ever. He just doesn't have it, period. If you upset, I'm sorry. Not sorry. But you've got to figure this out. You've got to know. He wasn't the best candidate for the job or for the position. He never should have had it, and he only got it because, well, you know what? That's a totally different story. I'm not going to say it because I know this platform gets mad, but I'm going to tell you, he didn't win it outright. He did not. He did not. All right. I just wanted to bring that to y'all. Hope that helps some people that supports this Cheetolini. Let's move on to our next segment because, you know, and this is the last one I have for the day. It's going to be a short day, but there's a lot of things that we like to be called, right? We like to be called handsome or women beautiful, attractive, nice, sweet, you know, honest, you know, a good person. You know, there's a lot of compliments that we like to have, right? Or be things we'd like to be called, right? One thing you don't want to be called is the original Diddy. That's I told you all, there's a restaurant that opened up the street from us, and it's called Mr. Diddy's. And I'm like, yep. Promise I won't eat there. You know, but I'm just saying, and again, it's just the name. Like, whoever was their marketing person, that wasn't a good marketing thing. You see what I'm saying? That Mr. Diddy's restaurant, it's like, So like, even before you even go in and try the food, it's already kind of like, nah, because of the name itself, right? So bad marketing strategy. But one thing you definitely don't want to be called is the original Diddy. It given the things that he have allegedly done, right? Rochelle said, what the hell? Exactly. Listen, that's what you don't want attached to your name, period. Deb, welcome in. Beautiful. How you doing? But unfortunately, that's what this guy behind me has the title of. And so the video creator of the last segment is from The Truth Is. We've listened to his content before. I follow him often and watch his content a lot. And he provides the receipts with what he says. You know, I agree with you, sis. She said, wouldn't that be Chump and his homies, the OG Diddy? Yeah, well, you know, and they all ran together. I mean, hold on. Let me see. I don't think I may have deleted it. Yeah, I may have. Oh, no, I didn't. There we go. You know, Mr. Grab him by the, and take that. Huh? Right there. So you're right, sis. They should be the original, right? Yes, Aztec Prince is correct. Let me give you, they're correct. They run in a pack. You are exactly correct on that. Rochelle said, yes, they did, all hugging and stuff. Exactly. Sister TMZ about to be canceled trying to run gangs. Yeah, I'm glad you sent me that video. I was like, ooh-wee. Because remember, we mentioned that yesterday about Cheetolini supposedly going to pardon him because that's what was put out. Only to find out TMZ, boy, woo, it messed up. So listen, so the title of this, it says Fat Joe just got exposed as the original Diddy. Now, in a previous show, when this guy's name, Fat Joe's name, surfaced or came out, it was about him allegedly having a relationship with a girl who was not the age of consent, to the point where he was so in love with her that he allegedly bought her an apartment or a place to stay, a house or whatever, townhome, whatever it was, a place to stay, not too far from his house that he lived with his wife and his kids, right? Allegedly. I'm saying allegedly because I've never been to either house. But that came out before, and then it got quiet. Things, his name wasn't mentioned anymore after that until now. Now it's resurfacing. And so let's listen to what the truth has to say about Fat Joe being the original Diddy.
One thing we found out this year and last year is that a lot of those 90 artists were doing some diabolical things. While at first people thought it was just Diddy terrorizing the music industry, it turned out it was an epidemic of disturbingly sadistic artists that couldn't keep their hands off kids in the 90s. It makes you wonder what was in the water in the 90s. Knowing what Diddy was up to, it was likely GHB or ketamine. Now there's another rapper from the 90s being exposed. And just like we saw with Diddy, he's being accused of some very disturbing things. That rapper is Fat Joe, who is currently being accused by a former hype man of doing disturbing things with girls that were way too young, if you get what I mean. While Fat Joe denied these allegations, recently another artist, Kaya, called him out for allegedly catching him with young girls in a hotel room. Now it's seeming that Fat Joe might have been the original Diddy. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos exposing the truth weekly. In today's episode,
Hey Liz, thanks for the share. I appreciate that.
Let's get right into it.
If you're a producer,
welcome to hashtag AI, I'm gonna say
this plugin might change your mind. This is
hold on, the commercial again.
I guess it's not really surprising that Fat Joe is facing similar allegations as Diddy. They both came up in the 90s era of hip-hop, where this kind of behavior went unchecked. But reading through his allegations, it's insane just how similar they are. Some of you might have heard that Fat Joe was sued earlier this year by his former hype man, Terrence Dixon, who claims he witnessed Fat Joe committing some disturbingly heinous crimes over the 15 years he worked for him. In the allegations, Dixon claimed that Fat Joe was a PDF file who routinely hooked up with girls that were way too young. Dixon claims to have personally witnessed Fat Joe engage in relationship with girls who were in their young teens. The lawsuit alleges that Fat Joe psychologically groomed and even allegedly trafficked these young girls. Dixon's suit also describes Fat Joe allegedly flying these young girls from Europe into the US, paying for cosmetic surgeries for one of them.
Hold on. So they're showing a video, and it is it looks like it's on a boat. They're out in the water, so I'm assuming it's on a yacht or something. But it has, I don't know these two gentlemen over here on my left, but is Fat Joe, Diddy, and DJ Khaled. And then they're toasting. They're taking shots and they're toasting.
And financially abandoning them when they become non-compliant. In the lawsuit, Dixon brings up several young girls that he alleges Fat Joe hooked up with, recalling a 16-year-old Dominican girl that he hooked up with in exchange for money, clothing, and paying her cell phone bill. Dixon also claimed that Fat Joe had an affair with a 15-year-old girl whom he met during a tour abroad. The suit alleges the rapper paid for her cosmetic surgery and regularly flew her to Miami and New York. He also brings up another girl that Fat Joe was infatuated with, so much so that he was considering leaving his wife for. According to Dixon, Fat Joe was participating in trafficking these young girls so he can hook up with them just like Diddy would do. This wasn't all of it either, as Dixon also alleges that he was coerced into performing thousands of intimate acts under duress, facing threats of retaliation, financial punishment, and physical harm if he refused. He alleges he was forced to perform intimate acts with women in front of Fat Joe and his associates over the course of more than a decade, claiming that he was forced to participate in over 4,000 inappropriate acts under Fat Joe's orders. Just like we saw with one of the first Diddy lawsuits, in this lawsuit, Fat Joe is being accused of running a RICO enterprise, with Terrence demanding $20 million for the damages he suffered while working for him. Interestingly enough, the lawyer representing Dixon was no other than Tyrone Blackburn, the same man who sued Diddy in behalf of producer Little Rod. Remember Little Rod's lawsuit? The producer who accused Diddy of the same exact thing Terrence is accusing Fat Joe of, which was forcing Little Rod to engage in intimate acts in front of P. Diddy, and also transporting young girls for his freak-off parties. I actually just released a new Patreon exclusive video of a Freemason man getting caught red-handed trying to meet up with someone he thought was a minor. I recommend all my members go watch that video after this one, as it proves that these men who are a part of these secret societies are definitely into them young. If you want to see that video, you can find the link in the comment section and the description. Now obviously, like every celebrity does, Fat Joe denied the allegations, calling them a desperate move of retaliation and extortion, claiming Terrence was upset that he cut him off and was trying to find a way to get back at him. In response, Fat Joe hired a high-profile lawyer and filed a counter lawsuit against Dixon, hiring the same high-profile lawyer A$AP Rocky got to defend him against the allegations that he shot his friend over an argument. After these lawsuits were filed, it sort of went quiet for a while. Fat Joe continued his career like nothing happened and even started a podcast with rapper Jadakiss. This very podcast seems to be what got him back in hot water, as just a few days back, Fat Joe made some comments about Kaya that sparked a whole new set of allegations. While Cardi B was on his podcast, the conversation about who's the best female MC rapper came up, with Cardi mentioning Kaya. Fat Joe pretended to not know who that was, then started calling her the neck and my back girl, referring to Kaya's
Hey,
hit
niece, I
song,
didn't even
My
know
Neck,
you was
My
in here.
Back. Fat Joe then told Jadakiss that he didn't like her because she called the cops on him once upon a time. He goes on to claim that she called the cops on him just because they were being too loud.
Who's on your Mount Rushmore female MCs?
I grew up listening to Remy a lot. I like Trina a lot. I always say that I listen to Trina a lot. I used to listen to Kaya a lot, Lil Kim a lot. I used to listen to all of them.
Who's Kai?
Kaya.
Neck and my back. My neck, my back.
Yeah, she got some cool records though.
She did me 31. She did us all 31 times. Like how the girls, my neck, my back. We hanging out in the hotel and she called the cops on us. Like, yo, them making too much noise. They like, yo, the girl there. My neck and my back. My neck and my back, nigga. Like how my neck and my back. You should know she coming at you. Supposed to call the cops. She called the cops on us. Well, we was in Phoenix, Arizona. Me, Fab, all of us talking in the hallway, and they was like, yo, the girl right there. She called the cops. Said, my neck, my back? She called cops on us?
I ain't gonna say that because that roasted. She could roast. That could roast. Tell her you love her because she could roast.
I love you, Kaya. I don't want no smoke.
CVS doesn't.
We got a commercial. As you see, they're talking. They're talking. These people, I'm telling you, like, I agree with Aztec Princess. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I had it covered up. I see that they are of the same. Hold on, Big Mel, too. I'm going to bring you up as well. Hey, niece.
I was just about to say that before he started talking about that. Kaya, she went in on him. She went in on him. The allegations, yeah, she went in on him. I seen that like a couple days ago.
Oh, yeah? So I didn't even know that. See, I didn't even know
live.
she did.
Yeah, she went in on him. She was talking about he was a pedophile and he had underage girls in a room, and that she called the cops because they was making too much noise and it was underage girls out there.
Man, well, okay, now, yeah, they're showing now. It's she's doing the video on her Instagram.
Yes.
She got the
'Cause I
black
follow
on.
her. Yes, I
All
follow
right, I
her.
need to go
'Cause
follow her too.
she be having a team. She be having a team when they was coming for her. She come out with the receipt.
Hold
And she ain't
up.
been wrong.
I'm about to go follow her right now. Man,
Soon
hey,
as
what's
I
up,
get
Big
her
Me?
alert.
I know that's right. Big Mel,
Hey, what's up? What's up, GS?
what's
Smooth.
good
How
with
you
you? How you
doing?
going, brother?
Nah, I can't complain.
What you got to put on the tape?
Well, shit. Joe Crack, bro, Fat Joe, he got a reputation. It's not much of what's going on right now, but he had a reputation, a persona like of a gangster. You know, his nickname was the Fat Gangster from the Bronx and everything like that. But then too, I could believe that, you know, a little bit, but I'm still surprised and shocked that, you know, Fat Joe is the type of dude that would do something like this. But there was a time where it was Fat Joe and Big Pun. That was like, you know, the top rappers back in the late 90s, you know, early 2000s, you know what I'm saying? And it was a lot of girls and underage girls and stuff like that coming around because, you know, DJ Funk Flex was interviewing, you know, Fat Joe and Pun, and they was talking about all the women that they was effing and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And Fat Joe was married at the time, but he still was getting around. You know what I'm saying? With different, different, women, underage women. It was a picture of Fat Joe and Pun. It was like a girl. She was 13 years old, sitting on his lap taking a picture. Little
Shut
Puerto Rican
up.
girl back in the day. And Diddy and Puff go way back. Fat Joe knew Puff before he was even famous. You know what I'm saying? When he was just an intern at Uptown and stuff like that. And then they had a song together back in the 90s called Don Carter Jr.
Yeah.
In the album and stuff. And when Puff was dealing with not Mary J, when Puff was dealing with J-Lo and stuff, Puff used to go to the Puerto Rican parade back in New York and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And Joe and all them used to link and doing all types of crazy stuff together.
So you actually you've seen it go on.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is
No,
not
I
just
didn't see it. I didn't see it.
They
Nothing like that.
all do
I'll be
it.
knowing all this other this stuff, man. Yeah.
Most of the majority of them do it. At least 90%. At least 90%. It's not a
Yeah,
surprise. It's
even
not a
even
shock.
Big
Everybody's
Two, Big
shocked.
Two, Big Two was taking pictures with
Yeah.
underage women and stuff like that. But they was looking grown back in the day, but they was little kids.
They was looking
oh
grown, but you got to hold the parents accountable for it too,
accountable.
because the parents was letting them go to these concerts and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Let's welcome Aztec Princess to the panel. How you doing, love?
I'm doing good. Well, with this whole thing with the music industry and young women, I've said it every time we cater to them. That's like
Yes.
the spoils of being a famous person, and it happens in the whole music industry. If you go back and you look at the rock and roll bands, there's even movies made about it, like Almost Famous.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the game that these men go and grab these little girls and call them women, and that we as a society say it's okay. It doesn't matter what they're dressed up as. But Fat Joe and Diddy have known each other so far back that Fat Joe was part of that mess where a bunch of university students were trampled at that concert.
Oh,
He was
City
part of that.
College?
Yeah.
Yes, college.
Okay.
He was part of that. So I mean, these men run together, and they give themselves the okay to go ahead and do despicable things, and use young women. And we as a society, we look away because we say, oh well, you know what? She went to the concert, she was part of it, and we put the responsibility again on the young woman. It's a very sad thing, and it's 100% sure is continuing till right now.
I
Rock
wouldn't
and
doubt that.
roll, rap, every music, those music people, they all love to do it. And I mean, it's up to us to put a stop to it. But I did
Thank you for
see
the harmony,
the
Tori.
whole mess with Fat Joe, and I thought it was kind of sad because I got to meet him at a concert, and he was very polite and nice to me. I didn't see anything out of place, but they do that in the dark. So
Aztec.
take that with
Tori
take
said
that
you are
with a
so
grain of
right.
salt. Yes, it's true. This is what they're doing. And as I always tell you guys in this panel, let's protect our children, our women.
Yeah.
Just because they've had their menses doesn't mean that they're women. They're still little girls. We have to protect them.
Man, and you were exactly right on that, Bestie. It's vital. At this point, it's vital. And it seems like it's a spider web that continuously gets spun further and further out. Like it's when you pull one strand of the spider web, there's so much more that it connects to. Like I knew, like I said, Fat Joe, his name was mentioned before. I know that. But I didn't, it kind of like died down.
Not
Like
to this
nobody else said.
extent.
Yeah, not to
Not to
this
this
extent.
extent.
Right,
Do
not to this extent.
you know who the hype man is?
Who?
My guess would be Cuban Link, because Cuban Link been going at Joe for years,
Yeah.
and then as well too, rest in peace. He also had a right hand man he was in them streets too. Charlie Rock LD And Charlie Rock LD was exposing Fat Joe and all this other stuff like that. You know, how he introduced him to the street life, how he gave him his first piece of, pink, punani, and everything like that. That was Fat Joe right hand man, Charlie Rock LD, but he passed away. And, and they was beefing too. And when he passed away in, I think, 2022, Fat Joe posted on his Instagram and talking about God don't like ugly and stuff like that, just being petty. But we know that was a little shot to Charlie Rock LD. But Charlie Rock LD knew everything. He was finna expose everything, but he passed away.
Why didn't you we'll start with Aztec Princess and then we'll work our way down the panel. And since I know about you, but let me ask y'all this, because that's something it didn't really get that much press, right? What you're talking about, Big Mel. So do you honestly think and believe that these people surround themselves with people that can control a narrative or control what media gets and don't get? What do you think, Aztec Princess?
Well, let me drop this on you. If you guys look into these people, they all own some kind of, they're all part of some kind of news, or they buy into those type of companies, like the I can't say it. I'm sorry. My mind is mixed up. So they buy into anything that gives out information, like magazines. They buy into those type of things because they can control the narrative, and then they can say, we're not going to talk about this, and the story gets vetoed. It never gets out. They cover each other up, and they also, what they do is that they buy themselves the best lawyer in town. So that people are getting slapped with you can't talk about it. So it's a way to shut everything down, and it dies down. The one that's been doing that like a master is JC. JC got so arrogant that he sued the lawyer that sued him, that the lawyer of the girl that sued him, and was continuously harassing him, instead of going after the girl that actually made the allegations, which is where you got to go. But
she's speaking about Tony Busby, everybody.
Yeah, he went after Tony Busby and tried to destroy Tony Busby on an ego trip. And he kept it, it finally ended. I don't know if they're still going at it, but these are people with huge egos who want to control everything. That's why you hear things like, oh, he was a control freak because he was a perfectionist. No, he's a control freak because he doesn't want the real things about them getting out. So that's why they buy into media. If you look at the portfolio, they got some investment somewhere that is going to control what is put out there. And then they rely on our ignorance and our celebrity worship to kind of help the rest of it. You will get somebody you don't have to pay them. You send them a t-shirt, you pay attention to them a little bit, and all of a sudden you got a ride or die soldier who will go in every panel and fight for you and say that you are the best person in the world. And that's how it works. It's all PR. It's all, it's all manipulation.
Yes. Hey, y'all W Aztec Princess in the live, please. I love having her up. She drops jewels every time. I love it. I love it. Big Mel, what you think about it?
Yeah, I think so. These celebrities and stuff like that, and the people in our culture, in the hip hop culture and stuff like that, have a lot of power. Like for example, back in 1999, when Puff went overseas, right? He was on a yacht and he ended up getting pants, and somebody took a picture of it and stuff. And what's the lady that was on the radio station? She was
Wendy Williams.
Yes, Wendy Williams. Yes, she ended up posting that on the web, on the AOL web, when he with his butt cheeks out. And
pause for a minute, Big Man.
Pause,
I don't mean to interrupt
you. Yeah, pause for that. And,
what?
Yeah, pause. Yeah, and it hit on the internet. And Puff had made some phone calls and stuff like that and said, if this BITCH is on the radio when I get back to New York, a lot of y'all gonna be out of job. And soon as Puff came back to New York, Wendy Williams, she was gone off the air and she had to go to Philly. And that's power right there. They shut a whole lot of stuff down, and that's not even on the internet no more. It got erased. They took it down.
Scrubbed it. Yep.
Yeah, they scrubbed it. But that's
See,
power right there, you know?
absolutely, absolutely. And let's W Big Mel in the live again, dropping facts. This is something. Regardless if you are a idiot or whatever, these are things that really happen. It's facts. It's facts, people. So you can't get mad at the person that's stating it when it really happened. Be mad at the person that was doing the activity. Let's keep the blame where the blame's supposed to go. Niece, what you got?
It's so much. I'm tired of talking about these people. I'm sick. I'm sick of all of them. I'm sick of all of them. Get them
So
all out of here. You see my comment? Get them all the fuck up out of here. Because
absolutely.
it's they. I don't know. Holly weird. It's Holly weird. It's name exactly. They do too much. They don't have no disregard for people. They don't care about regular civilians. They want what they want and they get what they want. And with the elites, it's all right. It's fine.
It's
I
sad.
I just don't have I don't have the energy to entertain these people no more. Like, 'cause it's
She
like
said
it's
lock
not
everybody up.
shocking. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not shocking anymore because it's like everybody have different allegations that's coming out. Like, but everybody, not everybody, most people, if you pay attention, and they run in the same circles. Parents used to tell us this all the time: birds of a feather flock together.
that's true.
It's not going to be one person in the party that's doing it and everybody is not.
Mm, that's true. That's true. I agree with you on that. And it's been proven. It's been
And it's
proven. I
been
mean,
proven on countless occasions. And then, sad to say, it's not just protect the women and girls. You got to save the little boys too, because they after them too.
yeah,
Bing, bing,
unfortunately, you
bing.
are right about all. I mean, and that's the scary. That's just there's
15,
got
14, 13.
Yeah,
yeah,
fact.
yeah. Facts, right? Facts.
Look at
It's
Lil
crazy.
Wayne. Perfect example.
Well, baby did. We'll say allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nah, ain't no allegedly. They got a
I
whole
know.
video of that man kissing a man in the mouth. And then
I
not
know.
only that, he got on stage talking about some bring them niggas up here. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, come on now.
That's hey. I mean, again, facts say f your feelings, and it usually goes raw. It's just what it is, and
If
and
y'all
and
like
that's
the
nothing we can do
freak
about it.
off with the people that like the freak off. Leave the regular people that don't want to be involved in that alone. It's so many of y'all in there that do the same thing. Do it with each other.
Right, and keep it. Look, that's the thing I think that makes me even more upset is the fact that they take advantage of people who really have innocent. They come in the game innocently and just wanting to be artists or have their dreams come true, live out their dreams, whatever they aspire to
Because
do.
it's a dominance thing. It's
Yeah,
a dominance thing. That's what it
absolutely.
is.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's we and again I have to revert back to one of the shows we done on the original platform where we was talking about. I was saying how my cousin was saying Los Angeles in the industry. To them, they say Los Angeles means lost souls or lost angels,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Lost,
Lost
lost.
Angels. That's what it
Yeah,
is. That's that's
you
one of
know.
the major cities where it happens at. Like, because everybody go
Absolutely.
there for, they're in New York to find their
Mm-hmm.
dreams, to fulfill their dreams. And
Right.
at what price? What are you going to offer up? What's your cost? What you going to put on this scale? So your
Yeah.
soul. And
Exactly.
that's what they get as the repercussion. Then it's I shoulda, coulda, woulda, wish I didn't, and
It's too
it's too
late by
late.
that time. They're on D rugs and everything. And before we go further, let me make sure I put this out here because this was one of the issues we had when we talked about it before. Los Angeles derives from the angels in real life. My cousin, who is a famous musician, was just saying they in their little secular group or whatever, they say it stands for lost angels or their soul because of like my niece is saying.
Angels,
Yeah, yeah. So I just
angels
want to
that
make sure we
was
get that out
casted
there.
out or followed behind. He who should not be named.
Right,
Those are
right.
their stomping grounds.
Mm-hmm. They go out there with the most innocence of uh
That's what
actions. They
they
want
really go for. They go for their
the
innocence.
innocence.
They want to take your
Exactly.
innocence and your purity away from you.
Right, because they know these people don't know anything, and a lot of them come from places or homes that weren't financially, you know, in good standing. So, of course, when they see that amount of money, they've never had it before. They're gonna go to it,
It's your
but
morals. It's your morals.
it's
I don't care
moral.
how much
Yeah,
more, how much money you offer me. You offer me a billion, 5 billion, a gazillion dollars, $1 trillion. It don't matter.
yeah, yeah, and that's right. That TikTok plug says, and they f over the paperwork over by blackmailing them, and that's so true. That is in the small print. You know, a lot of people don't know how to read the contracts like that, and so the bigger part of the
It's
contract that
not that
stands
they don't
out.
know how to read it. They don't understand it.
That's what. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, you're right. You're right,
Hmm.
Niece. They don't
They don't
understand it.
understand
Lingo,
it. They
right?
because it's like how it's their wordplay. It's
Right.
wordplay. You have to understand true wordplay and what somebody's true intentions is.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't know that when they see the contract. All they see is the amount of money that they're gonna be getting, how many albums or release they gotta do, or however many movies they gotta do, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna be making this amount, and then the more and the longer I do it, the more money I get, and then guess what? Not along with the money, now you gotta sleep with this one, that one, and the third. You gotta do this, that, and the third. Like, it's too
Welcome in,
much.
Brooklyn's finest. You're right.
It's
You're
too
right, Niece.
much.
You're right. And then the TikTok plug says they call them 360 contract, which I think you are in the music industry just by the way
Yes,
you're wording things.
it
They
is
hold rights to
360
their royalties.
contract.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
And, and
you
big
know, huh?
and big had caught on to what Puff was doing towards the
And
Yes.
that's
end.
why he offed them.
Yeah,
Bing,
Yes.
bing,
he
bing.
realized that he was
Allegedly.
like, hey yo Puff, he robbing me from my money and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Absolutely.
I'm trying to do my own thing, you know, make my own clothing brand, Brooklyn Mints. And the only reason he went out to LA
Ooh,
is
bing,
so he
bing,
could get
bing.
paid, by Puff, because
Mm.
Miss Wallace, Puff, I mean Big was trying to you know, build Miss Mom house. And Miss
Yes.
Wallace kept calling Big about, hey yo, Krista, like call him Christopher. Hey, Christopher,
Hmm.
where how's the house coming and everything? He's like, I know, Ma. I'm here right now in LA to get my money from Puff and working on albums so I could get paid, because he already stopped, because Puff stopped you know, Big from going to London, and Big was
Yep.
supposed to make a lot of money in London, you know what I'm saying, to promote his own brand, making a whole lot of money. But Puff made phone calls like the Kirk Burrows and all these names and stuff like that to stop him to go to LA. You know what I'm saying? To
Hey,
be with him, to work on his album. But
boy,
Puff
Bing,
listen.
Big
bing,
knew
bing.
that Puff was robbing him later on, but it was too
Yeah.
late.
They've been
Yeah,
robbing
it's
them
too
for
late.
forever. We seen it on Making a Band.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
But
doing them
Puff
too.
don't but Big don't get no slide neither. Do you hear the lyrics in his song?
Well,
Yeah.
now I do. Now,
Do you
I,
listen
Yeah.
to the lyrics
Yeah.
in the song?
They love to
Yo,
tell us what they do, right, in the
you
lyrics.
you you
yes,
you you
yes,
when
Aztec
you
Branson.
slow it down, and I've always been this type of kid. Any type of song, especially if I like it, I go to AZ lyrics. Remember that was a big thing.
Yeah,
AZ
yeah, it was
lyrics,
to
and
learn
you
the
look
song.
up the
Yeah,
lyrics in the song, and I was like, "What?"
yep,
He
yep.
said, "What?"
You know,
Oh, you're done.
Gene Dill, he said this last week. He was like, a lot of people, they saying that, you know, questioning Big's lyrics and stuff like that. But when he was around Big, he had a whole entourage of beautiful women. He had no men around. So, you know, I
Okay,
don't
but
know.
now, because I'm hearing that the Big was by the way, you get me, and
Vicarious.
yeah, Baki. Okay, thank you. Because I don't know, you know, how this platform be working. So, but it's so. Do y'all think that's true?
Yes. You said
Yes.
she's so fond that I suck her daddy. Come
Yep,
on
yep.
now,
That's
bruh.
one of the things.
Come on,
Yeah,
bruh.
I know.
Come
Yeah,
on, bruh.
first
I
album.
Come
wanted
on, bruh.
I wanted to add that you guys know that Puff is a special type of POS
Mm-hmm.
because he put himself in every song so he could get royalties, whether it's just with the yeah, yeah, whatever it was, he was putting himself there so that, every time we enjoy Big, we are paying him to enjoy Big. So
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous the way these people work. and it's
Yeah, he was
ridiculous.
getting violated too, plug. He was getting violated too. Yeah, of course. They
Yeah, well,
all
Clive Davis.
have.
Clive
They
Davis.
all
That's all you gotta say.
have.
Yep.
Yeah,
LL
Clive.
Cool J, all of them.
You
All
know,
of them.
this is how it all
I would
started.
say 90%.
You,
And
but
then
you
the
know
Puff.
that
10% that don't want to do it, they end up what? X'd out or
I think that
homeless,
we need to
broke.
be more honest though, because I don't think that all the people that don't want to participate, because you got somebody like Eminem who's got a great work ethic that everybody talks about. He was not playing with all that. He literally took it like a job, right? I've heard a really funny story about that. But that not everybody is crooked, but the ones that are crooked all hang together. And
That's why I said 90%.
because
90%. But most of them, if they aren't with the shits, they get X'd out. Look,
I
did you
Let,
don't
see
think so
Maya
though.
interview? Did you see Maya interview? How
yes,
she was
I
what she
did.
was talking about?
Yeah, but you know, and she said that Jay-Z was trying to get at her. She's luckily her parents was
Yeah.
around. Hmm.
Yeah, he got his
JC
blackballed him.
Yeah.
and what was her name? Foxy Brown.
Yeah.
I
He
mean, you gotta
definitely.
look at JC and Foxy Brown, JC and Aaliyah. I mean, it's, but I do believe that there is some musicians that stay out of that mess. It's
Yeah.
just the ones that want to be super duper legendarily famous. The ones that get to that status are the ones that are caught up in this mix, because somebody needs to have something on them. If they get too big for their britches, they could take them down, just like they did Puffy.
Before we get back to the audio with Fat Joe, I want to play something that's from August 3rd, 1995 that is going to validate what Aztec Princess was just saying as far as Puffy being on his artists' songs and stuff so he can collect from that. And somebody was talking about that. And this is a pivotal moment in hip hop history. Let's
Oh,
listen.
the Source Awards.
My guy. Let's listen.
Ain't a car full of girls, ain't no need to tweak. All you search know what's up with 213.
He was
First of all, I'd
corny.
like to thank God. Second of all, I'd like to thank my whole entire Defo family on both sides, you know what I'm saying? I'd like to tell Tupac to keep his guards up. We ride with him. And one other thing I'd like to say, any artists out there want to be an artist and want to stay a star and don't want to have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the video, all on the record, dancing. Come to Death Row.
W Aztec Princess in the live and W Suge, because Suge was saying what he said. 10 toes down, right? And that was back in 1995. He already let us know what was going on. You get me? So, to her point, that's exactly what Puffy was doing, or Diddy, or Dummy, whatever you want to call him. That's what he was doing with his artists.
But wasn't Suge doing the same thing? I mean, he wasn't
Well,
sleeping with his artists, but he was
Suge was a bully
but
though.
yeah,
bullying
he was
them.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But he was, as far as like being on their songs. Nah, he played the background on that.
Nah, he ain't hop
Played
on
that.
these songs, but I'm talking about like in the content of how he treated his
Oh, he's
artists,
strong on
like
them.
yeah.
Listen, I told you. Well, you might not have been in the show on that particular show, but I told you on my other platform, I am and I'm not clout chasing. Please know, I'm just trying to tell you on my one of my other platforms, I'm friends with Tupac's biological father, and he said
Billy?
himself,
Billy?
he, huh?
Billy? His name
Yes,
Billy?
yes, Billy, yes, Billy, yes, and he said that him and his brother, his half brother, because he's Junior, Billy Junior, but
Okay.
his dad said F Suge, he had something to do with his son's unaliving. Now, I don't care
Mhm.
what nobody say on social media. I'm riding with his dad.
Yeah,
I'm riding with
because
his dad.
he didn't care for the rapping no more. He wanted to be an actor.
He did, and he also found out that they was only paying.
They were
Think,
stealing from him.
yeah,
They were taking bigger cuts than what they were supposed to from his money. He
yep.
had
I was
Tupac
trying to.
set up and The other one
Biggie.
had Biggie set up.
Yep. I'm trying to figure. I can't remember. I can't
And they
remember
had it
what
like
Mr. Garland
coerced, because
said.
didn't Biggie got killed in LA, right?
You
He
got
got
Yeah,
yeah.
unalived in
97,
Uh-huh.
LA,
6, yeah,
and
6 months
Tupac got
after.
unalived in New York, right?
Vegas.
Vegas.
Or Vegas? Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's a
He,
coercion there because
he,
the Diddler be in Vegas a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pac did get hit up in New York 5 times, but that was
Yeah.
1994 at
They
Quad
only
Studios.
got
That was
that guy
before
in jail
Vegas.
because he
Right.
supposedly was saying that he got paid by Puff to off Tupac.
Keefy D.
Keefy D.
Yeah,
Yep.
Keefe D. But the thing is that I want to bring up is that I don't like to say they all were doing it. Okay, there's a big difference between getting bullied and having to take a beating to get out of something than to be humiliated and to be, have things done to you and then on video and then being told that it's gonna be put out there. That's a real trauma right there. I will take a beating every time. So yes, Suge was a bully, but I think you cannot that's like comparing apples to pears. It's a different situation. And as far as Tupac and what he has said and what he has done, I think that when I was looking into a Diddy, is that Tupac did not like Diddy and his movements. He was no part of it. He probably was around it because it's a music industry. You got to be around your coworkers. But other than that, I don't think we could say that Tupac was in that type of environment where he was doing that type of thing.
No, he was
No,
not. He was not.
I never said that they all do it. I said 90% do it.
Yeah, 90%. Yeah.
That's one.
Yeah. Pop.
Two, a monster is still a monster at the end of the day, no matter
Yeah.
which shape or form, because it's pink and one is blue, or one is triangle and one is square. A monster is still a monster.
But
And
one
you,
is
The
easier
fact
to
But
that
get
you have
away
to
from.
put
That's
your
I
all I'm
think
hands
she's.
saying.
and beat people out of their contract, or he was like, what's his name from the Five Heartbeats? Red, Big
Oh,
Red.
Big Red. Yeah. I think she means from the sexual aspect of it.
But I'm
Yes.
Like
not
the.
talking about
Hold
that.
on
I'm
one
talking
second.
about the
Oh,
whole
I don't need that.
entirety of how they handle their artists.
Of course. I mean, but all I'm saying is just easier to get away from somebody that's going to give you a beating and you get away from them than somebody that's got something really dark on you that's going to affect you mentally your whole life and
you
that they
know,
have it over your head. There's a big difference between that.
Hmm.
Puff hated Pac. Puff
But
hated
Suge
Pac.
He's
also had
jealous of
stuff
him, wasn't he?
He
dangling.
jealous of him.
Yes. He
Haven't
was
you
Suge
really
noticed?
had
jealous
stuff
of
hanging
him.
over their heads too.
Yeah,
Trust and believe. That's why
have
a lot of them stayed in their contracts with him. It wasn't just because they was getting beat up.
I mean, it was one time, Nate Dogg had said this. Rest in peace of Nate Dogg. He had said
Yeah.
it was
Shut
an
up.
upcoming artist that wanted to rap in front of Suge Knight, and Suge Knight was like this. All right, bro, you got you. Let me hear what you got. And the dude started rapping, and he only said 2 words, and Suge and them goons and stuff start beating on him, start stumping him out and everything.
That's
Dude
wild.
didn't even get a chance to rap. That's how he was doing a lot of people, bro, at Death Row.
And let's acknowledge
Oh
that
yeah, yeah. I do remember that, sis. She said, "Remember that interview of Tupac when he was 17 years
Vow.
old? He acted really sweet."
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I do
He
remember that.
And I also want to point out that Diddy has this fetish of getting with women who have been with somebody that he has a thing with. Like he
Yes.
got with a woman, and didn't he have a baby with the woman that was with Tupac? And
Yeah,
then
Sarah.
No.
Sarah
Sarah.
Rich.
Sarah, yeah,
Was
Yeah.
it 50
Yeah.
Cent too? Wasn't
and
it one of
50
them
Cent's
50 Cent?
girl. She
Yeah.
was one
Jane
of the
Doe that was in
people that
the trial with
testified
Diddy.
against him.
Right. That's right. Yeah,
So
you
he
right,
knows a
Aztec
thing
Prince.
about that.
And Gary Payton girl too. He took Gary
Oh, the
Payton. Gary
glove,
Payton
right?
and Puff. Yeah, Gary Payton. This was back in the day when in the 90s when Gary Payton was Gary Payton, Supersonics. Gary Payton and Puff was, talking shit because Gary Payton talked shit too and stuff.
Hmm.
And Puff had said, I bet I could take your girl on it, put money on it and stuff like that, that I'll take your girl. Puff took Gary Payton girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's facts. That's facts. I want to keep it because we talk about lyrics and we talk about things like that. Also, I want to make sure we point out the last recorded album that we know of that was mainstream from Pac. God rest his soul as well. Remember, it said Machiavelli, Killuminati.
hmm
And I think that we have to stop and put emphasis on that because it's actually 2 words put together. It's kill and then the Lumi. And that was he was about to expose things, right? Of higher up people, and one of the people who wanted to be sexual with him was the dad of the girl he was dating when he passed away, Quincy Jones,
Yeah.
and he was with what's her name, Kadada.
Kadada Jones.
Yeah,
They,
yeah. See,
they
so
was engaged. They was
right,
engaged too.
right, right. And her dad wanted to do things with him, and allegedly, according to Kim, Puff wanted to do things with him as well. So again, it goes to yes, he was jealous, and I'm gonna be honest, I do believe Keefe D. I
Oh,
do
of
believe
course, yeah.
Keefe D. You know, so but
And
yeah,
his nephew too, Baby Lane, Orlando Anderson.
yeah, Orlando, yeah. God rest his soul as well. You know,
Yeah.
and when you think about it, as many times as we say, God rest his soul, a lot of families, I mean, a lot of lives were affected from Diddy's actions. Allegedly, we'll say allegedly, only for the
Facts.
you know.
No, some of that ain't alleged. A lot of dudes dropped. You know, when these street dudes, a lot of like when Pac had got unalived, it was a war between the Southside Crips and the Pyrus. It was a war.
Hmm.
A lot of dudes in their gang, all them dudes, they lost their life behind that.
See, once again, and it's not because a lot of times we just focus on the art, like Big Pac, but it goes beyond. It expounds to so many more people that he is have a hand in, and along, of course, with Kim Porter and things like that. So let's get back to this audio on Fat Joe, and then we'll close out the show for today.
Line and addressed it immediately, claiming that she didn't call the cops because of a noise complaint, but because he was engaging in disturbing behavior with really young girls. Kaya goes as far as to call Fat Joe the original Diddy, even referring to Fat Joe as a satanic freakazoid.
Fat Joe, yo fat ass. No, you finna get roasted this morning, gag. Or the Fat Joey bag of donuts, you mildew smelling.
Niece, you ain't lying. She came in spitting flames, boy.
You. We the people been sending in a lot of shit. You been out there talking about the queen.
Hot on you.
You knew you was gonna get it, didn't you? You know you hadn't fucked up, right? Well, if you didn't, somebody should have told you. I knew it and been told this story, but since you want to tell it, let me tell a version that need to be told. Here, here, go. Okay, I'm on the road at the hotel trying to get my beauty rest after again I secured my bag and took my ass back to my hotel suite to lay down and go to sleep. Okay, we all artists after a show sharing the same hotel, but not sharing the same evidently. Okay, we sharing the same hotel floor because that's all we have in common. Yeah, Gordon. And here come your fat, funky, stinking, okay, spoiled pig looking along with the rest of your crew being demonic freaks per usual. Yeah, Gordon. Diddy ain't the first and won't be the last freakazoid. It started with you. Okay, being demonic freaks and mutants. Got a hall full of hoes and underage sluts ready to
Through Rula,
Hold on,
it's easier to connect with
We got a commercial. Oh my gosh. I would have hated to make her mad in school.
Okay, waiting outside your hotel room door ready and waiting to get drugged and gang banged. And so you can watch your homeboys so you can look at and booty hole because your ain't long enough to reach nobody ball. All right, child. I open my door like, what the f is going on up here on this floor? I'm trying to get my beauty rest. What the f is going on here? Get home and clear this hallway slurping and slobbing on dick in the halls, decking the halls and balls, okay? And it wasn't even the Christmas holiday. Like and watching your homeboys let you tell it, your crew and your other fellow rappers that's freakazoids like you, other at 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning off that shit. Not on my floor. Gaggle, that's why your fat ass got all kind of crimes and suing the fuck out of you and a bunch of lawsuits, and charges now on your fat ass. You sitting out here want to tell the put the police on you. You should have told them what. Well, you ran terror squad, all right, terrorizing booty holes and young old gag order back then, and you still doing it now. Alleged, yeah, right. Gag order, you a nasty and you was doing it, you did it, and that's why they suing you and pressing charges on your fat ass now. Why you trying to act like you innocent? I called the police on you for a reason. All right, I was trying to say them. We gonna just tell the truth, tell it how it go. Damn right, I called the popo hoe and I'll do it again, running around out here in these streets with titties longer than mine. Sucking on them.
Crazy.
Let's get that right. You a demon dog. You a sex demon. You was them drunken and a little young, and I put the popos on your okay, go to you and all them that was there with you, one by I was out of order and them young girls was in danger. I seen crimes being committed and I called the law. Okay, go to just ask your hype man. He was there. Okay, go to in that order. Look it up. In that order. I hope he take you for everything you got and all them young that you f***ing destroyed their lives too. Okay, go to because you did it. Alleged, not alleged. I heard, I seen, I heard, and I called 911. Someone please call 911.
Oh my
It's
God.
getting and drugged with Fat Joe in this hall. Get the law up here fast. As far as I was concerned, them slut puppies were in danger. Okay, gag order in that order. Criminal activity was going on, and your fat ass should have went to jail without the bail. That's where you should have went. Because you and your crew didn't mean to. No good. I seen and I heard you did. Gag when I saw a bunch of young freakazoids in danger. And I said, no ma'am, Pam, and not on my watch. Clear this all in that order. And you remember how I walked out there with my hair wrapped up like a queen? It's still wrapped up like a queen now. Locks on deck. Gag order, baby, when I came out there in that hall with my long, beautiful silk nightgown all the way to the floor. Gag order looking like a goddess. Okay, and I seen all them in danger on the hall in the hall on my floor. I told them to clear that hall. Get from in front of them doors, waiting to get drugged and beat the up and kicked out on their head. Get out! 911 is on the way, and I went to dialing emergency number. In that order, I was saving lives, like I'm still doing now. Gag order in that order, putting up on game. Don't trust these. Don't trust these. Don't trust no fat ass. Okay, smelling like Porky the Pig. Get your own shit, little movies.
Oh my God.
With a head on his shoulder, knows how it goes in the toilet. Get gone and to call 911. Get the law up here to lock 'em up. And I do it again, Gag. Don't trust these. Get your own shit while your pink pig pork rind smelling at. You got here in these streets destroying lives. I'm the one that's been saving lives, and I'm not the one or the two to be with. So I advise you to keep Miss Neck and Back's name out your mouth. Because I've been telling these stories before Jack. All right. I've been telling these stories before all these decide to want to tell. I'm the original Roasting Gagger. I've been telling these stories since MySpace. If you're really a Thug Mrs. fan, you remember?
Not MySpace.
And that
Oh,
you a
Lord.
nasty. Now your sick, freaking, sloppy, fat ass is fighting cases left and right. Talk about that on your podcast while you're talking about me. If you're not going to talk about Big Pun wife and how you stole all Big Pun money and then give it to his family while you're talking about me. You imagine how your sweat smell. You fat on your podcast and stop talking about me putting the popos on your nasty ass. You was out there little young and doing orgies and having your goddamn hype man and DJ that he didn't want to Diddy Jr. Find you somebody to play with and go straight to hell, Joey Bag of Donuts. Okay, now
Joey Bag of Donuts. I'm so.
As you saw for yourself.
Time
Kaya?
out. Pause. OMG. Y'all, first and foremost, those are not the views of hashtag I'm gonna say it. However, if it be thy truth, and she stated it, then it's on her. But whew, it sometimes when things happen and people make reference to it or comment on it, the way that they do it is going to make it gain traction. The story is not going to go away because of the way that the person presented it. Well, I'm here to. My sister said, "Yeah, but yeah, it is, bestie. Right? It is. It really is." Right, Aztec Princess. She said, "Let me stay on her good side." I know that's right. Listen, I don't want to say nothing wrong about her. In fact, if she's watching this or she ever get a chance to see this, we are on your side. We come in peace. We come to spread your message. Okay. Oh my God. Listen, I don't think. By the way, she just delivered that. By the way, we need to bring in a fire extinguisher and extinguish the fire on her microphone because she went off. She went off. But the way she did it makes me believe that it's going to stay around more. Like, it's not just going to be something that it's talked about and then it dies down like it did previously when he was brought up. The way she just gave that right there, it's going to be present to a lot. It's going to be a lot of sharing going on. It's going to go viral if it hasn't already. And everybody's going to be talking about this for real. My bestie Marie says she ate and left no crumbs at all. Cleaned the whole plate. She cleaned the whole plate.
What I tell you? What I tell
Yeah,
you?
niece, that's my first time hearing it. That's why I was like, you ain't playing. She came, yo, listen, I would have
And I
hated
watched
to
her
go to
when
school with
she
her
did it live. I
and she
watched her
talk
when she
about
did it live, and my mouth hit the floor like, why y'all keep playing with this woman? Because
you. Yes.
everybody that says something about her, she eats them up.
Listen. Hey, y'all, it ain't, look, this going to have to serve as it. Flag on the play. Flag on the play. Illegal use of words. 15,000-yard penalty on Fat Joe. She said, Joey, bag of
You can have a
donuts.
seat. I'll call you as soon as I'm done with the next person.
Okay.
Nah, no, 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 no,
Okay.
no. I was talking to my patient.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying you had to come back up after you done with the next person. Yes.
Mm-mm.
Uh,
She called him Joey Powdered Donuts.
yeah, man. I'm talking about, yo, I don't, right. Thank you for the big shout out. Like, I don't even, thank you, Aztec Princess. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say after that. Like,
She ate him up.
is there anything we can say?
I'm
No,
I'm shocked.
because
I'm
she ate.
shocked because like she was talking about the terror squad. So I
She said
don't.
all of
That's
them was like
crazy to
that.
say, bro. Because it's a lot of dudes that were big time street dudes and
Right,
gangsters in New
Jenny?
York that were well known that was in the terror squad. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, that was my first time hearing it, and I'm still like, woo.
Yeah, right.
Like, I know, niece, I know you said she went in, but I didn't know she went in and came out through the front. I didn't know that. She
Mm-hmm.
gave him a whole cavity search.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh,
like, hold on, because I think I might have forgot to go follow her. Let me pause, y'all. We're gonna get back to the audio, and I know I wasn't ready for that. I'm trying to tell you, I wasn't ready. I didn't know.
I think that when we hear voices like hers, we have to protect her because they're going to come
Yes.
after her and say that she's unstable, that she's on something. Their attack is going to be real. People like her, we have to protect the truth tellers.
Yeah, we do, and then you absolutely know that by her doing that, like you said, they're gonna come out and say that she's mentally this and that, and then they're gonna make that move, and you know what that move is. I done broke my mic.
and the thing
Well,
is, like, oh, Joe could sue, right? Joe could sue, try to sue if it ain't true, he could sue, can he?
But he won't because it's true.
Yeah, especially with Diddy and Gene
Thank
Deal,
you.
Diddy could have been sued him and stuff like that, but Diddy didn't, because he know everything Gene was saying is the truth, and a lot of dudes that was around back then validated Gene. It's like, yeah, bro, that was true. Puff was, doing that type of stuff, back in the day. We was around
right,
him. That's what, yeah.
right. Yeah, I'm with
Can
you,
you tell
sis.
me
I
about
believe
it?
her over Jag. I do, I do believe her over Jag. No, and I mean, like, she was so the way she was.
She said I've been eating them up since MySpace days. No lie.
Right. I'm like, you said MySpace, Lord.
Not the
So,
top 8.
huh? Yeah, not the top 8. Exactly. I said, President, not the top 8. Yeah, man, that's wild. That's wild. I never, again, even back then, I didn't know all of this about him. I didn't. I just never knew. And
Same. He always gave, like Fat Joe always had that reputation, like the, the gangster reputation,
right,
the people that he had with him and things like that. He even stopped beefs, amongst, dudes in the street and everything like that. So it's
right.
like I'm shocked about this, with Joe Crack.
It's one of those. I feel okay. Like when all of this stuff started coming out with Diddy, I felt betrayed for the simple fact we've rocked with this music. We've listened to it and all of that, and we never knew. Even though now we know what they saying in songs, we know what we know. But at the time, we didn't. We just thought it was good music, genius creativity, stuff like that. And so I got the same feeling now when it comes to Fat Joe. Yeah, we heard what we heard previously, when his name was brought up. But like I said before, it all died down. So it was like, okay, those were just mere allegations, or somebody was not happy with him or upset with him, and they said that. So it's no weight to it because nobody's talking about it no more. But then she came up, and then the fact that she's in the same hotel, and he just said out of his own mouth that she called the police. Now we know that she for sure was there. He did say they was having a party, and he did say with girls. He didn't mention underage, but he did say girls. And then she goes and she says what she says. So it's like this is something that is validated. It's vetted. There's nothing we can say to. I don't even think we got to use alleged in this context or for this context content anymore. Like not when it comes to that. Right. Aztec Prison. He validated her story. Like I mean, what can you say? It's like, man, yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna have to sit on this one for. I'm like Big Mel. I gotta.
Yeah, same.
Hey, this strawberry coconut drink ain't gonna get it. We're gonna have to put something a little bit harder off in there for this to actually sink in, right? But yeah, I did. I thought he was like a man. I know the gangster part of him, but I also know that he was
respected,
Yeah, well respected. Exactly. And so to hear something like this, it's like, that's crazy work.
It went off on Fat Joe. While I would say all the banging in between each word was quite annoying, what she said about Fat Joe was some seriously disturbing allegations. If what Kaya is saying is true, Fat Joe was out here having Terror Squad freak-offs. Now I will say, honestly, Kaya has more credibility than a person who wasn't in the industry, as usually the victims that make accusations against big rappers tend to do it for financial reasons. It also doesn't help that they're not in the industry themselves, as artists tend to play victim themselves, using the defense that everyone is just after their money. Kaya is herself in the music industry and isn't suing Fat Joe for any money, at least not yet. In fact, she didn't even come out with these allegations out of nowhere. She only brought them up because Fat Joe mentioned her name and tried to diss her. These are some serious allegations, and I don't think Kaya would just make this up out of thin air. She's basically confirming the allegations made by Fat Joe's hype man, alleging Fat Joe likes them young too. I'm telling you, Fat Joe's behavior is awfully similar to Diddy's. It would also explain why back in 2024, while Diddy was at the height of his allegations, Fat Joe came out in defense of him, calling him a good friend and saying he would be praying for his nightmare to be over.
The Ticket to Work program.
If he only knew, he's about to have the same nightmare.
It's currently in the news, crazy. And so he would have been one of those guys. But right now he's dealing with something. When you see what you see, somebody that we've worked with in the industry for a long time going through what Diddy's going through right now.
What I can say in the most respectful way is I don't know all the details, but I've been praying for him and his family, and he's my friend for 30 years. And so I'm never, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just see what the outcome is, and I'm praying that the best thing for him and his family and everybody involved. So I'm not disrespecting nobody, but I'm just praying for this whole situation, this nightmare.
We've talked about it from the obviously.
Yeah, but yo,
internet.
bro, let's move on from that, man. You got that. You're the only person who got Fat Joe to say that, right? Let's move on.
A lot of people were criticizing him for these comments, as the person he should have been praying for was Diddy's victims, not Diddy. But if these allegations are true, now we know why Fat Joe was defending Diddy, because he is the Puerto Rican XL version of him. The more I look into Fat Joe, the more he seems like Diddy. For example, he signed Big Pun in the 90s, and according to Pun's baby mother, Fat Joe robbed him blind. She claims that after Big Pun died in the 2000s, Fat Joe kept all the royalties Pun's music generated and didn't give any to his family. She actually filed a lawsuit against him for this, which appears to be still ongoing. Again, this shows how similar Fat Joe and Diddy actually are. Diddy was also known for robbing his artists before and after they died. While right now the allegations that Terrence Dixon made against Fat Joe are just allegations, the fact that Kaya accuses him of doing things like this adds a bit more credibility to his claims. Knowing what goes down in the music industry, you can't put anything past these people. We know that these celebrities let money and fame get to their heads and they start thinking they're untouchable. In my opinion, chances are these allegations could be true. Fat Joe is likely just as guilty as all the rest of these monsters in the industry. We have to wait and see how this lawsuit turns out, though.
Clock
I
it.
also wonder if this lawsuit would turn into a criminal investigation like we saw with Diddy. The question is, will Fat Joe be the next celebrity in court fighting for his freedom? Surprisingly, he hasn't had a bunch of victims come out and speak out against him. But maybe it would happen now after Kaya came out and spoke up. I want to know what you guys think below. Do you think Fat Joe is another Diddy? Should he be locked up too? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Also, if you're one of my members, make sure to go watch the Patreon exclusive ASAP. You won't want to miss it. If you're not,
Shoot, let's give it
We
up
don't
to the
spare
truth
nobody.
is.
Throw them all in there.
Uh,
Throw them all in there. Don't spare nobody.
that is, you're right. It can only be worse, you know. Man,
He did that to himself. He did that to himself. If he never opened his mouth and said anything, he would have never, she would have never came out and said anything.
that is true. That I have to agree with you on that, niece. I mean, he put himself in the line of fire for that, so to speak, you know.
The sugar-coated lies.
Once again, y'all, we come to an end of another broadcast of hashtag I'm Gonna Say It. I want to thank my panelist guests. Thank y'all for coming up and adding flavor to this show. I appreciate it. Thank you to my moderators for keeping the show on track. We didn't go off the rails or anything like that. Thank you for keeping me in line. I didn't get in no trouble. That's an accomplishment in itself. You guys worked hard. Thank you so much for that. My gifters, we can't thank you all enough. Thank you for gifting me as well as gifting my panelists. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Last but not least, you all are our gifts. Our guests of honor. We appreciate it. Your presence is a gift to us. It's a gift that we are grateful for. So thank you for coming in and joining us and rocking with us here at hashtag I'm Gonna Say It. Couple announcements before we leave. Let's remember that tonight is Wednesday night. So if you go on Twitch TV and you go and subscribe to the channel MC3SF9. Go and subscribe to that channel on Twitch TV. Tonight we have OCWA's event. It's a video game wrestling. So if you're a pro wrestling fan or you like video games, by all means, come in and join us and watch us tonight as we wrestle in video game mode, right? And I do believe, yes, I am on the card tonight. So you'll see your self-proclaimed favorite news reporter on the card tonight, wrestling in action. Please come and check us out on Twitch TV. As well as tomorrow, Global Impact Wrestling will also have its PLE show. And we ask you to go on YouTube and subscribe to their channel, which is Global Impact Wrestling TV. And you can see their event is called Thunderstruck. That'll be tomorrow at 6 p.m. So come and check us out over there as well. If you missed Dope Girls episode 10 last night, please, while you're on YouTube, go and subscribe to the channel Tay Redder Vision Films and watch episode 10. If you haven't watched the show at all, go and watch episode 1 through 10 and check out what we're doing on there. Like I said, I would say things are heating up, but we're already hot over there. So go and check it out if you hadn't checked it out yet. I feel like there's something I'm forgetting. I'm supposed to pray for somebody or put in a prayer for somebody, and I can't remember who it was. Yeah, let's get cheeky with it. Let's get cheeky with it. Our dear friend, let's get cheeky with it. Let's pray for her. She's not feeling the best. We know that she went through her things at the hospital. She got out. She's still trying to fight for us and get better. But she's having a setback and not feeling well. So let's make sure we keep her in our prayers, right? Because, you know, we don't have to have the same blood in order to be family, right? And she's our family for sure. Aztec Princess says she's still hospitalized as well, and she's joining us. So let's definitely keep her in prayers. And thank you for joining us, even though you're in the hospital. We definitely appreciate that so much. Thank you all so much, and I will see you all next time. This has been your self-proclaimed favorite news reporter, signing off from the newsroom. Peace and blessings, and I love you all to life.